I began channeling the white-winged collective of 9 several weeks ago. And it came through unexpectedly. And I was very surprised by it because it was not expected. And a bit confusing because I didn't know why it was happening. And I thought maybe I was wrong at first. But then I received confirmation from one of Magenta Pixie's recent videos, which I'll link below, which talks about awake and aware individuals connecting with them. Going back to that day, it didn't feel like I was wrong, but I didn't give it much thought at the time and just let it go. Well, to my surprise, Magenta Pixie put out a video less than 2 weeks later, both confirming and explaining what was going on. She talks about connecting to the Aurora network and how receptive members are now receiving direct information from their own collective or higher guidance construct, and that many receive information just as she does, and that we are all able to receive information through it in some way, shape or form. Even if not now, you will soon, because it's coming online. So I'm wondering if any of you have been experiencing this too. And actually, now that I think back, I'm recalling them coming through many other times in the past, but I just disregarded it and ignored it. Because I thought I was wrong, and it seemed really weird that it would be happening. But anyway, now I've just accepted that this is true, and not just some fluke or coincidence. And that confirmation was the piece I needed to feel sure of myself and the guidance I was being given. I never really paid much attention to who or what I channeled, as long as the energy felt good and right. But I find this interesting and now feel interested in looking into this further to understand it more and see what direction it leads me. And I'm really curious to the others watching out there. How many of you have had this experience recently? Or at any time at all? But especially recently with what Magenta Pixie is talking about. And what does this mean for humanity? And the collective? I've definitely been feeling like we are more connected as a whole. So right now what's coming through for me is that this is a new era. It's a time of change, a time of transformation, a new way of living, a new way of being, rising into our higher selves, as a collective, into our bigger and more expansive versions of self, the all-knowing versions of self that truly knows that what we want, what we can have, what is possible, without limits, without hesitation, without fear, with a knowing that all is truly fine, and that we can manifest all that we desire, not from a place of lack, but from a place of knowing, from a place of love, when we move through the heart, when our heart space is wide open, and when we truly manifest from desire, not from what the mind selfishly wants, but what the true expanded version of you wants. Without limits, without fear, and you have balance within the body. The digestive tract is truly integral to your knowing. And until you can do that, it is truly impossible to bring forth what you desire. Because there are blocks, there are limitations, there are false teachings that you fall prey to. So in those moments of stillness and silence, you are able to tap into that highest aspect of you that knows what you need, knows what you want, knows what you desire. Knows that you are limitless, expansive consciousness that knows how to create from a space of love and not lack. Not fear, not unhappy motivations that are rooted in untrue feelings. Because when you allow your heart to lead and your mind to follow, you create balance within your inner world that brings peace, joy, and unity to your world. That is shared and spirals outward and really does change the world. Because your vibration is magnetic. And the multidimensional realms can sense it and feel it, although you may not be able to be aware of that and perceive it. But it's happening on a greater and greater scale now, which allows you to shift timelines with ease and go to sleep in one reality and wake up in the next, which can be disheartening and confusing at times. Since one day will be one way and the next completely different, and your human will want to hold on to the past and play out the same storylines, but you allow and shift, and adapt, you will see how you're really not even in the same reality. Even though it looks almost identical, but if you pay very close attention, you will notice the slight and subtle Mandela effects. When you ground into your reality, you can shift and adapt really easily and effortlessly. When you enter a flow state and release resistance, and allow reality to move with you, and through you, and not against you, or in misalignment with you. And you learn very quickly to expect the best, and not the worst, and know that you'll always be taken care of, and there is nothing to worry about or fear. And those shadows of the past that once used to haunt you can slowly dissipate, one by one, as you conquer and overcome each and every fear, because when you learn to face your greatest fears head-on, you will realize there really was no one else to fear, and nothing else to fear, because fear is simply a construct of the mind that you must learn to overcome in order to step into your greatness, into your power, into your highest frequency of love and divine union with yourself. And that is the greatest lesson of all. Shift your frequency. Shift your reality. With quantum vibes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.